Good afternoon, students. I am Professor Bankar DB, Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Serampur. In this lecture, we will begin with the next topic of TYBSc Agriculture Chemistry. The name of topic is plant nutrients. In the plant life cycle, there is need of different types of nutrients. So there are nutrient essential for plant life. In other words, we can say nutrients plays an important role in plant life. Basically, there are 16 essential nutrients that are required for the plant. Out of that 16 nutrients, 3 nutrients such as carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. 3 nutrients, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, are taken from atmospheric carbon dioxide and water. Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen nutrients are taken from atmospheric carbon dioxide and water, and remaining 13 nutrients are taken from the soil. Remaining 13 nutrients are taken from the soil. So in soil there is presence of some naturally occurring nutrients, or sometime we can add externally the nutrients that are required for the plant. So this is some basic introduction about the nutrient. Now we will see the classification of nutrients. Now we will see the classification of nutrients. First type of nutrient is structural elements. First type is structural elements. In structural elements there are 3 major elements, that is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So these 3 elements forms structural elements, and these 3 elements are absorbed in the form of different ions by the plant. It includes CO2, H+, then water, oxygen, OH-, CO3 2-, SO4 2-. So these structural elements can be absorbed by the plant in the form of this type of ions, or there are some molecules like CO2, water or oxygen, and other are the ions. Second type is primary nutrients. Second type is primary nutrients. These primary nutrients include nitrogen, that is N, then phosphorus, that is P, and last is potassium, that is K. Primary nutrient include nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, or in short form we generally refer as NPK. So this nitrogen is generally absorbed by the plant in the form of nitrate or ammonium ion, that is NH4 plus. This phosphorus can be absorbed by the plant in the form of phosphate H2PO4 minus or HPO4 2 minus. This potassium is absorbed by the plant in the form of K plus. So this is structural element. This is about primary nutrient. Next type of nutrient is secondary nutrient. Next type is secondary nutrient. This secondary nutrient include calcium, then sulfur. It also include magnesium. Secondary nutrient include calcium, sulfur and magnesium, that is Ca, S and Mg. Plant absorb calcium in the form of Ca2 plus, sulfur in the form of sulfate, that is SO4 2 minus, and magnesium in the form of Mg2 plus. Magnesium in the form of Mg2 plus. So this secondary nutrients plays an important role in the formation of plant tissues. Then last type is micronutrients. Last type is micronutrients. Basically, structural elements, primary nutrient, secondary nutrients we refer as macronutrient, or we can say major nutrient. And this last type, that is micronutrient, we can call as minor, or we also call as trace elements. So this micronutrient include boron, that is B. This boron can be absorbed by the plant in the form of H2BO3 minus, then chlorine, that is Cl, copper, that is Cu, then iron, Fe, then manganese, that is Mn, then molybdenum we can call as Mo, and last is zinc, that is Zn. So this elements, that is boron, chlorine, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum and zinc belong to the micronutrient. So this chlorine is absorbed by the plant in the form of Cl minus, copper in the form of Cu2 plus, then iron in the form of Fe2 plus as well as Fe3 plus, then manganese in the form of Mn2 plus, this molybdenum in the form of MoO4 2 minus, and this zinc is in the form of Zn2 plus. So this is general classification of nutrients, structural elements, primary nutrients, secondary nutrients. These types belong to the macronutrient, and last type is micronutrient. Basically, structural elements, primary nutrients, secondary nutrients are required to the plant in large amount, and these micronutrients required to the plant in trace amount in small quantity. If particular plant get large amount of micronutrient, then it is somewhat toxic to the given plant. So it should be noted that the percentage required of micronutrient to the given plant should be minimum, should be less. As we know that plant take nutrient from the soil with the help of roots. So in the soil there is presence of soil moisture, or we can say water. In that water most of the nutrients are soluble, and these soluble nutrients are generally taken by the plant with the help of roots. There are basically 4 devices for obtaining plant nutrients. There are 4 devices with the help of which plant can absorb the nutrient. So first device or first way is from soil solution. So in the soil there is moisture, water. In that water, that nutrients are soluble and directly absorbed by the plant. Second device is from exchangeable bases. From exchangeable bases. So there are some exchangeable bases that exchange with other ions, and that exchangeable bases can be absorbed by the plant. Next is from readily decomposable minerals, or we can say from easily minerals. So in the soil there is presence of huge amount of minerals, and some minerals can undergo decomposition, some minerals can remain as it is. So those minerals which can undergo easily decomposition, then that decomposed mineral can be absorbed by the plant. And last way is through the leaves, by the way of stomata. By the way of stomata. So some nutrients, we can say atmospheric nutrients which are dissolved in the water droplets, can be absorbed through the leaves by the way of stomata. So these are 4 devices for absorbing the nutrients. Next point is theories of nutrient uptake. Theories of nutrient uptake. So there are 3 theories which explain the absorption concept by the plant. So first theory is soil solution theory. First theory is soil solution theory. So this theory clearly indicates that plant absorb dissolve nutrients through the soil with the help of roots. Second theory is contact exchange theory. Second theory is contact exchange theory. So in the soil there is presence of root, there is presence of colloidal particle, or we can say there is presence of clay. So if that soil, that colloidal particle or roots of the plant come in contact with each other, then the adsorbed ions on the root and clay get exchanged, and this exchange ions can be absorbed by the plant. So this information is studied in contact exchange theory. So there is contact between different ions present on the plant root and clay, and these ions get exchanged. Here we will consider one example. Consider here we have plant root which consists of H plus ion, and there is also presence of clay on which there is adsorbed potassium. So this H plus and this K plus get exchanged, and there is formation of potassium root plus H plus clay. So this simple, we can say, reaction can clearly confirm that this potassium present in the clay particle exchange with H plus, and that HK plus then adsorbed on the root. Ultimately it can be then absorbed by the plant. So this is simple contact exchange theory. Then third theory is carrier theory. Third theory is carrier theory. So this theory was explained by scientist Hansen in 1955. This carrier theory was explained in 1955 by the scientist Hansen. So according to this theory, the ions are adsorbed by calcium acetate colloids present in the cell wall, and then adsorbed by the cytoplasm. So this is simple explanation of this carrier theory, which was introduced by the Hansen in 1955. Now we will see the one by one elements which are required for the plant. We will start with primary nutrients. That is NPK. NPK belong to the primary nutrient. First is nitrogen. First and most important element is nitrogen. Plant required nitrogen element in large amount in huge quantity. So this nitrogen promotes rapid growth. Nitrogen promote rapid growth, increases leaf size, increases leaf size, crop maturity, crop maturity, promotes nitrogen, promotes fruit and seed development. So these are the some significance of nitrogen. If particular plant get required amount of nitrogen, then that plant perform its activities in good manner. But if there is deficiency of nitrogen, then that plant shows some symptoms. So this nitrogen is required in large amount to the growing plant. That nitrogen promote rapid growth. It increases leaf size, crop maturity. Nitrogen promotes fruit and seed development. Along with this, that nitrogen plays an important role in basically all metabolic processes. Nitrogen perform a vital role in the metabolic processes. This nitrogen is also important part of chlorophyll. Nitrogen is also important part of chlorophyll that manufactured through the photosynthesis process. In this lecture, I will stop here. In next lecture, we will see the remaining part of this particular topic and the some different types of nitrogen fertilizers. Thank you.